ensure that they have the supports that they need to heal the discriminatory colonial practices that the government has done to our people. Well, we've heard the claim process is now open at 40,000 in a short period of time. We know there's so many more. There's so many more out there that are thinking about it, so many more that are scared to come forward. We want to assure them that the supports are there and that this is the right thing to do. It's something that is available to them for what has happened to them. I know that this has been a long road. Many have been reading about it. Many here at this table and others have joined us at various times as we've gone through this process, court process, mediation, the acceptance. There's more to come. And us at the Chiefs of Ontario have been working hard to ensure that we're supporting our members in this way, in this region, and walking alongside the plaintiffs, ensuring that every step of the way they feel supported. You know, it's been trying. Lots of moments that have tested our abilities, have tested theirs, but their determination. We look at each and every one of them, their families, their friends, their supporters, those who stood by their side as this process has continued to unfold. But this settlement is not an end. There's a lot more work to do. It sets a foundation for us in going forward. And as we know, there continues to be work on a long-term reform. The long-term reform to the systems that have broken our families and created so much trauma to our families and our children. And so every day we're working hard as the Chiefs of Ontario, to our national office as well, to ensure we're doing our part to hold government accountable and bring about reform, wholesome reform, to a system that has been around for over 100 years, to a system that is broken, that doesn't understand our people, nor do they care to. It's a wholesome reform. It's about empowering community leadership. It's about working together to ensure families don't become in compromising positions in the colonial systems. Colonial systems do not continue to be there to bring about hardship and more pain. And so while in Ontario we have a final draft agreement, we're continuing to work hard to move towards final ratification, because we know that our community leadership mandate us to do that, but also that wholesome reform requires all parties at the table, all government, community, leadership, our youth, our elders, and those who have gone through the systems to help us support wholesome reform. And that is our goal as we move forward, to ensure that our families, our children, do not have to experience the same thing that many had before us, and that these systems are adaptive, built in our customs, our tradition, our language, to ensure that our children have the most supports needed, even in those difficult times. And while we continue to work with our partners, I want to say that the timing, as we continue to build these systems, it's no important time now than ever to ensure we're doing everything we can to support our families. The work that we do as leadership, but also as an organization, as a national advocacy body, so that our plaintiff families and those who have gone through those experiences will never have to deal with that again. And so while $23 billion is compensation, it recognizes that there's a lot more work to do. So again, a lot more work to do. So again, I say big shout out to all of you for joining us today. Again, to our elders for setting the tone. To our plaintiff families for always being there. You know, there have been times where they've thrown the towel in. It's a leadership, our national chief, our executive, and our regional office, they continue to be there to support them, to make sure that we're doing our part as political leaders to support those who are in need, to ensure that this doesn't happen again and hold government accountable. So now I'll go and wish to all of you. Turn it back.
Thank you, Regional Chief. Our next speaker will be Grand Chief Joel Abrams.
Segui dewas lagi ni audience. Oto yung ni bagata lodo kalata onye da aga ni makahujod. Greetings in my own language. My own name is Dewas Legate, Axe of Two Blades, and from Wolf Clan from Oneida Nation of the Tens. currently Grand Chief at the Association of Iroquois Island Indians, and currently hold a social services portfolio at the Chiefs of Ontario. I'd like to thank Elder Sally for the opening, and also thank National Chief for the opportunity to come and address everyone to speak about this historic settlement that's going to be happening today. Again, the checks are going to be going out and the money's going to begin to flow. That was approved last year. However, whatever joyous this is, we also have to realize that the Federal First Nation Child and Family Services Program in Jordan's principle really failed our communities, and they're still continuing to do that, leading to children being unjustly removed from their homes, denied access to essential services, and severed their ties to family and culture. And so that's really a painful truth. They weren't isolated incidents. They're systemic, and their impacts continue to reverberate through generations. And it's really as a result of unfettered colonialism, as we can see through other things like the Indian Act and residential schools, and we can go on, broken treaties. So the historic $23 billion settlement that we're here to talk about is a result of decades of advocacy, but at the end of the day, it had to be legal action to hold Canada accountable. It'd be good if they did the right thing on their own without that, but sometimes this compensation is not just about the financial payments, and acknowledgement of the deep injustice that our people have endured. Deloitte, thank you for being here as well as a claims administrator. They have partnered with First Nations navigators and community liaisons to ensure the process is culturally safe, trauma-informed, and accessible, including mental health supports for those who need them. That's going to be very important moving ahead for those people with claims. And so these navigators and liaison, as the National Chief mentioned, can provide one-on-one help with completing and submitting claims, gathering documentation, responding to missing information requests, and even navigating appeals when necessary. And for those who need higher levels of support, navigators can connect claimants to service coordinators and circle of care teams, which includes cultural wellness workers, harm reduction workers, and healthcare access coordinators, ensuring access to broader wellness and community resources while claimants move through this process. And while this settlement addresses past harm, it must also drive us toward preventing discrimination from reoccurring again and again. And that's why at the Chiefs of Ontario we're working with First Nations leadership to advance, as the Regional Chief mentioned, the Ontario Final Agreement. And this agreement will transfer authority over child family services from the federal government to First Nations and give them the capacity and resources to do so. It will secure stable, flexible funding and allow communities to design services rooted in their own cultures, values, and laws. So we are committed to building systems where every First Nation child can grow up safe, surrounded by family, and connected to their language, culture, and identity. And so this is about replacing a system that caused harm with one that protects and strengthens our nations for generations to come. And our work ensures that this moment becomes more than a settlement, it becomes a turning point toward a future where our children are never again forced to fight for the care, dignity, and justice that they deserve. So the Chiefs of Ontario, we will continue to stand with the AFN, with claimants, with communities, and leadership until that future is secure. So while this is good news, addressing some of the harms of the past, we must also look to the future. Thank you. John McCall.
Thank you, Grand Chief. So our final speaker will be Plaintiff Melissa Wilkerson.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for having me here today for this important press conference. My name is Melissa Walterson. Thank you, Elder, for the remarks. Appreciate your prayers. And I just want to introduce myself for anybody who doesn't know me. My name is Melissa Walterson. I represent the family class of the removed children. And I've been working on this claim for probably about 6 years now. And I'm speaking on behalf of my representative claimants as well. This is not a day of celebration. This is a day for the government to finally, do something right when it comes to reconciliation. I know from my personal experience, I'm from Mississippi and Pasco First Nation, and it's been trying for me. I was adopted at birth, and I've had some good times in my life and some hard times, and I am thankful to National Chief Woodhouse for all the work that she has done through this process, and not only her, but the previous National Chief before her and the previous National Chief before has put in many, many, many years of hard work and dedication to get to this point. And like I said before, it's not a day of celebration. Thank you to the previous Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, for actually helping us get to this point. If it wasn't for the work that National Chief Woodhouse did with the Prime Minister, maybe we might still be working at this. I just want to acknowledge all of the removed children, forcibly removed children and their families, and all of the harms that Canada did to our people. I'm hoping that this day will bring some, some help with their lives. I don't know, I struggle with compensation because it should never have been done. We should never have had to come to this day. It should have never happened to our people. And anyway, that's all that I have to say for now. I appreciate everybody who has worked hard for this day, and the continued work that we need to do for the years to come for all of the other classes that come after this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Melissa. I just want to encourage everybody that's watching online that, and if you're looking to, do a compensation, you can visit the website at www.fnchildclaims.ca. I just want to thank everybody for their time today. That concludes our press conference. I know that there's many reporters that are watching online. If you want to, shoot me a text or send me an email, definitely line me up with some interviews. And I just want to thank you guys for your time today. So thanks, everybody.